Discover the captivating world of Anne, a skilled author who brings to life compelling narratives of courageous heroines on a quest to uncover their true purpose and experience enduring love.
Chapter 1. Soraya Pav. I heard my mother's desperate cries, so I quickly ran towards her, my heart pounding. I burst into a clearing and stopped dead in my tracks, horrified. My mother, Eva, was sitting on the ground, cradling my father's lifeless body. I was shocked and could not accept what I saw. My father, the epitome of a strong alpha leader of our pack, died with only one single bullet to the heart. They say a human hunter shot him. I can hear my wolf, Amethyst, cries in my ears. Uncle, how could this possibly happen? I asked in disbelief while my mother, Eva, the Luna of the pack, cried hysterically. Tears flow heavily from my eyes. This could not be happening to us. My uncle Sabas was struck, and he just stared at us dumbfounded. The news of my father's demise had spread through the pack, and the elders came to our home. Demi, the healer of the pack, has inspected the wound and got the bullet. He looked at it and brought it close to his nose. This is just an ordinary bullet, but it smells weird. It has been poisoned. His brows furrowed. He has lost a lot of blood, and it is the reason he died. He has not healed his wound faster. His defenses have been weakened by the poison. He continued while wiping the sweat off from his brows. There must be a way to get him back, her mother said weakly. Her tears had never stopped falling. Her face was one of disbelief and shock. Demi stared at my mother with compassionate eyes, and he said, "We cannot raise the dead, Eva." My mother's face crumples in despair. I see defeat in my mother's eyes, a look I've only seen in my fallen enemies. Even Demi, the pack's best healer, expresses surrender. I am my parents' only child. My father, Thomas, trained me well to be the alpha leader, but nothing prepared me for this because as soon as my father's body was buried in the ground, my alpha cousin Mark challenged my right to succession. My uncle Sabas was my father's second in command, but he supported his son. This angered me because he clearly had no faith in me. Is it not acceptable for a female to lead the pack? I gritted my teeth. It's not about acceptance, Soraya. The pack needs strength. Traditionally, that's been a male alpha. Unless you marry another alpha, he said with a deep sigh. The pack leader must be the embodiment of strength because we don't want other packs to underestimate us. He continued with a firm tone. Are you saying I'm not strong enough? I snarled as I clenched my fist. You are strong, but many won't believe in a female leader. And we don't have time for you to find a mate before we must choose. He said coldly. The fact is, you still haven't found your mate. He snorted. How convenient for you, I said in disgust as I gritted my teeth. Don't tell me you are afraid my son will win and be the pack's leader? He continued mockingly. No, I'm not afraid of your son. I just think it is a waste of time because I am the rightful leader, I said confidently. Then it's no problem at all. He spoke with finality. This has always been our way. I have also challenged your father's succession in the past. I am the eldest brother, and naturally, I should have been the leader, but our father has picked Thomas as his successor. His brows furrowed. I should have gotten angry at my father for his betrayal, but no. He gritted his teeth. Did I whine and ask my mother to defend me? No. He was frowning deeply. I challenged your father. I did my best to win, but I lost, he continued. You have to prove that you are worthy to be a leader. After your father defeated me, he won my respect, and the whole pack bowed to him. He was staring intensely at me. I'm sorry, uncle, for getting angry at you. Please forgive me, I said in a low voice. I had finally understood why he did this to me. My uncle has been my father's second in command and his advisor. He trusted him, and I had no idea that their past had been tumultuous. I will prove to you and the whole pack that I am the rightful leader, I said, radiating with positive energy. I should not fail my parents, especially my father, so I made a vow that I would be successful in doing so. I cannot imagine what will happen to my mother and me if I fail. Now we have to go to the Council of the Elders for the challenges, he said while looking intently at me. When we got there, I saw Mark already waiting for us. He has given me a smug grin. The moon illuminates the ancient hall where the Council of Elders convenes. Soraya, strong-willed and determined, stands alongside her cousin Mark, a cocky and ambitious challenger. The 5 elders sit in a semicircle, their eyes reflecting wisdom and gravity. Elder Ulrich said gravely, "Soraya, Mark, heed our words. The Blood Moon Pack stands at a precipice." He turned to me and said, "Your father's legacy demands a rightful heir." Elder Maximilian nods, "To determine the future leader, you both shall face 5 challenges, each testing different aspects of leadership." Elder Darius said sternly, "Ritual combat, wisdom, and strategy test, trial by influence, mystical trial, and the dual responsibility test." Elder Gareth said solemnly, 1 month from tonight, under the full moon, these trials shall commence. The pack's future hinges on your performance." Elder Aurelia said firmly, "Remember, it's not merely about strength, but wisdom, influence, and responsibility." Mark sneers while I maintain my composure, exchanging a steely gaze with him. Mark said mockingly, "We'll see who's truly fit to lead." He was rolling his eyes at me. "I accept these trials. The Blood Moon Pack deserves a leader who earns their place, not claims it," I said resolutely, clenching my fist. "I need to secure my place in the pack, and afterward, I will avenge my father. I have told myself over and over for the past few days. My heart has been filling with rage as days have gone by." The elders nod approvingly, acknowledging my resolve. My uncle Sabas was looking at me intently and back to his son. Elder Ulrich gazes at both of us. "Prepare yourselves. The fate of our pack rests in your hands." I had to prepare myself to win. Mark is a great fighter, but he is also impatient. I always win in our sparring because he is hot-headed, but I must not be overconfident. One wrong move and Mark could win in the ritual combat. He is a ruthless fighter and has uncontrollable anger. After the meeting, I went directly to our home. "Mother, I'm home," I said when I opened the door. Then I saw her unconscious on the floor. "Oh my goddess, not this again." I was horrified as I ran to her side. I hold her body with my trembling hands as images of my father's dead body flashed through my mind. I carried my mother into her bedroom. Then I called our Omega servant Elise to fetch healer Demi. My mother was still unconscious when he arrived. He inspected her and said, "Why is this happening?" I asked him confusedly. "What do you mean?" Demi said, "Her vital signs are not good. What has she been doing?" Elise said softly, "She has visited the former Alpha's tomb frequently." I felt so guilty. I wasn't with my mother most of the time because I was busy training in preparation for my right to succession. Demi sighed, "It seems like she is emotionally exhausted." "But my mother is a formidable woman and a strong Luna. I had no idea that she was so grief-stricken with my father's death," I said. "There is something you did not know, Soraya. Your father is your mother's strength." Demi sighed. "What do you mean by that?" I asked. "Elise, can you please leave us for a moment?" Demi looked at our Omega servant, and she nodded and closed the door.
Subscribe for more videos.